All right. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Good Fighters podcast. I'm Dr. Nash Stopko, coming to you live with a whole lot of connection, intention, and purpose is Dr. Gates Mayer. And we got a very, 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 very illicit and special guest on here today, Mo. Soon to be Dr. Mo. And I don't even want to butcher your last name, brother. How do you say your last name?
Isuo.
Isuo. Dr. Mo
Yes.
Isuo.
Yeah.
Welcome, man. A little bit of
Sounds like
background
he's
with
swole.
He is swole, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
He's swole.
Yeah, man. We don't play that that little body game in the chiropractic realm.
Absolutely
at least,
not.
at least on this episode.
Yeah.
But I connected with Mo this last December on my first mission trip, and the cool thing is, man, I mean, I was one of a few doctors on the trip, but honestly, this was one of the guys that I was really looking up to help lead me on my way to help lead some of the other students, because this was not your very first mission trip. From what I remember, this was your 8th mission trip in a row, right?
7th, yeah.
7th? Okay, yeah, so coming up on 8, but
Yeah.
7, man, like that's like beyond impressive to me, especially knowing what I know now with what that really
What school you go to?
entails.
I'm out there at Parker University in Dallas.
Oh, I'm jealous, man. Wow.
Parker U.
8
Yeah,
and you
bro.
haven't even graduated yet? Dude, I'd kill for that, man.
Yeah, I'm going to the next one here in March. Yeah, I got one in March. We're going back to Haiti and DR again with Uncle P and them for Chiro missions.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
And I definitely want to dive into that a little bit too, bro. But if you want, would you like to share a little bit about your story and a little bit about what you got going on too?
Oh yeah, no doubt. So started at Park University, was a very interesting school just because I didn't know nothing about chiropractic. So my parents, they didn't have any doctorate background, nothing like that. And so I kind of got into chiropractic off of I say it was just a calling. God really made that path for me because I didn't really know much about it. And somebody came to my undergrad. In undergrad, I didn't really care that much about school. I really just was doing what I had to do. I was actually in like academic probation a couple of semesters because I just wasn't really intentional with it. I was just going through the motions. And then this dude came up to the school and he was like, hey, if you're interested in chiropractic, I'm a Park University rep. Come down here and get a flyer. Went down there and got a flyer. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing in my life, so I guess I'll just check out this. And then it ended up being the greatest decision I've ever made. And then now I'm in Tri 8 of Park University and just started into clinics. So this was a great transition. My first time able to like put the schoolwork aside and be able to just like treat people and learn how to properly do that. So that's been fun. I learned to not do new exams back to back because that can get pretty hectic. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as the mission trips go, I've went on pretty much every mission trip in between my breaks. And then now I've been diving into going onto the mission trips during the school year. So I'm leaving on March 26th, and that's in the middle of our try. So I'm just gonna I'll have to tell my pod doc something to let him know I'm about to be gone. And then I'm going to Jamaica in April with the same group.
Hell yeah, bro. I was curious, bro. I didn't really get to ask you this when we were in the DR, but what was really that initial, like, I don't know, was that another feeling of like a calling when you went on your first mission trip, or what really got you started on that?
Yeah, so one of my mentors, Dr. Bynum and so Dr. David Bynum, he's out here in Dallas, and then Dr. Sergey Terrio, he's out in Maine, all the way up north. and they do this seminar group called Hand Alchemy. And so basically, when I first got into chiropractic school, I had no, like, I was pretty mechanistic. The only person in my city was doing like PI mill kind of thing. So I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
maybe I can graduate, work for him, and just, figure out what to do in my life, and just associate. And then I bumped into him in my first trimester, and he basically kind of paved that way and was like, yo, you go to these mission trips, you'll really be able to improve your skills. And so then I was like, all right, so I was like in try maybe 3 when I first went on my first one. And I just kind of did that GoFundMe thing, reached out to people. My church helped me out a lot. And then I freaking went crazy. Saw like 1,500 people in 5 days.
Yeah,
and
man.
then, Uncle P, or Dr. Peter Morgan, to be specific, who runs Chiro Missions, was like pretty impressed. He was like, dude, I'd love to have you come out to more. And I was like, I would love to come back to more, because it's, I got a lot of adjusting in, but it's just the energy and the atmosphere of those people there. I mean, Dr. Nash was out there, so those people just love on you, and it's pretty contagious. It cracks you open. It brings a different level of gratitude and gratefulness that you have to be in the profession, to be able, like, you're actually able to help people more than just the adjustment. Just you being there, it's just like lightening up their day. And so after, I was like, oh, I got to keep going. So
yeah, man, you're on I don't know, probably the coolest of hot streaks I've ever seen for anybody doing anything, man. That's super impressive. Gates, you kind of missed it, but he kind of mentioned that. Was that the first mission trip you saw that 1,500 people in 5 days?
Yeah, the very first one.
Crap, bro.
Nuts, bro. That's fucking wild.
Dang, I thought I had a record at 303, but it's not.
But like the cool
my boy
thing
about
is,
to come up here on the podcast and show me up like that.
bro. Yeah, this man's got numbers. Put numbers on the board quick. Slinging, dude. But the cool thing is that one of the beautiful takeaways, Gates and I, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but Mel, I know you feel this too, that like just to see the innate at work with people that truly like are, like this is like they're begging for something or praying for something like this to change their life and change their trajectory of what they have going on. And even just to be present with somebody for 5 minutes with a language barrier, man, like that can make the world of difference to somebody, not just day, but their life. And that was just one little mission trip that I got to go on, man. So going on 8, I already know you got hella stories to go with that. But,
do you guys have translators?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And what's cool about it is
you guys were going no translation. That's pretty nice.
What's cool about the translators, bro, is that like they're the kids from the orphanage. So like we go down there and we'll rate like the money that you pay for the mission trip goes towards the orphanage of like kids who like lose their parents, and Dr. Morgan has put them all in just one spot so they can have a home. And so then in order for them to get paid when they come on this mission trip, they translate, and then he just pays them, through the money that we gave to translate. So it's like it all comes full circle.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, bro. One thing I actually, before I forget about it too, because honestly, mine's a little spacey today, but so funny thing, Gates, Mo here, he's actually pretty tight with Dr. Fab.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, man. We were talking about that a little bit on the way back.
Dang.
But Dr. Gates and I, we know we met Dr. Fab probably twice.
We got pics. Yeah.
We do have pics.
We got Dr. Malley was like, you guys better get photos with him. So we all
a legend. Did. Yeah.
Bro, I don't even think I was dressed to impress like Dr. Fab too. That man always is coming up with he's dressing to impress.
I was looking so bummy, like it was bad. I'm like so mad at myself for like the way I was dressing back then. Like when you look at like some shit that you posted in high school on like Facebook or something, and you're just like, you just shake your head like that.
You're like, hell no, I can't believe that.
Yeah, bro, that was me in that picture.
That's the moment with Dr. Fab.
Oh
too,
my
bro.
God. So,
dude,
but
cool.
You just got back from a seminar with Dr. Fab, right? You were. Tell me about that. How was that?
Dude, that was cool. So, he like reached out like a month or so before and was like if I was interested for like it's like this intimate gathering with a couple of different speakers like Emmett Smith and TD Jakes, Jonathan Wimbry, just these really amazing individuals, very motivational individuals. It was like a speaking engagement, and he was speaking at that event too, and he was like, yeah, I would love to have you come out. Da, da, da. And like, me and Dr. Fab met previously because I've had him like come and speak at some philosophy nights with the students that I kind of put together to kind of just like change the atmosphere a little bit at Parker because it can be very mechanistic at times. And so he came out and like rocked the stage. And so then he invited me out to that, and it was crazy. I've never heard TD Jake speak before, but his voice sounds like some wise grandfather, and so like it's just so deep, you know. And so everything he says is just so profound. He's just like, you know, all right, and it can be something you've heard before, but it's just the way that he says it just really hits deep. And so that was really cool. And then Fab, Dr. Fab also actually has these supplements that he's also created to kind of help during these times of like getting your immune system right. And so he was showcasing some of those as well. And dude, they're pretty good. They're pretty good supplements. I drank some of like this little powder thing that you put in water to help boost the immune system. So that was pretty cool. He actually has another speaking engagement going on this weekend. But it's kind of, dude, it's like snowing and stuff out here. I don't know how it is over there, but it's like,
what's bad up here? It's cold.
Yeah, and so
like,
you know how it is in Texas, bro. Nobody like
y'all shut down the city.
Yeah, bro. Nobody can leave their house when it snows, bro. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, but he's awesome. He's a big mentor in my life. He's helped me out a lot, and then also, dude, he's just such a badass, bro. It's like he's like an honorary citizen in like 4 different countries. Just straight up gave it to him. You know what I mean? 2 best-selling books. You know, old president of Parker. He's just like everything. He's just good at it. You know.
So that man, he like flies under the radar. Like you meet him and you talk to him, you would never know that. Like you wouldn't. Mm-hmm. He doesn't tout like that. You know, like you can see success in him, right? Like you said, but man, so humble for the spot that he has. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But you know, I think that some of that comes from being like a man of God to an extent, right? Or at least like having that perspective, that humility to, you know, we're only, you know, fine little grains of sand on the beach.
Mm-hmm. So look, Dr. Gate, you ever been to a mission trip, or have you?
No, I have. So I actually got to go to Honduras 2 years ago, I think, at this point. And so we went down to Honduras. We were down there for a total of 3 days, but this was like with a medical brigade. So I was actually the only chiropractor that was there. So it was really cool. So you had dentists and a couple of internal medicine people. And so it's kind of cool seeing the perspective of the people for those professions and then ours. Like you said, like people down there, so much gratitude. They're just like, love to be able to see you. And so because I was the only chiropractor, I was like, all right, I gotta, you know, deliver, right?
Yeah, you gotta
you gotta do my thing. So I try to see as many people, and I was like wiped by the end of the day. Try to just like serve as many souls as I could, because I know that I was probably the only chiropractor that they would see, because they go every 6 months. I was the only chiropractor that they were going to see possibly within 6 months. And then COVID happened, so it was even less than that, I guess. So, so I definitely was blessed to have that opportunity, been itching to give back ever since. I know Dr. Nash and I have talked a lot about that, but just always impacts me the amount of gratitude that people have for you while they're down there. You know, I had my translator, she was there. Shout out to Evelyn, and she was like, she'd never been to a chiropractor before, and just like seeing how I treated patients and everything, she was like, she told her mom and dad to come over. Her dad was like a pilot or something. He got treated, been dealing with like headaches for like years. So it was really cool to kind of, and lots of people were like that. So being able to have that experience, man, that's. So I mean, 8, I'm jealous, man. I'm gonna be for real.
I got two questions on top of that. So maybe I missed it, but when did you go? And then also like were you like stationary? Like did they have you in like a building and then people would come to you, or did you like travel with it?
Yeah, so it was early 2020. So I think it was January like 14th of 2020. And then they would come to us, but we went to 3 different locations throughout the days. So like one day we went like up in this city, like up in the mountains, dude. Like I didn't freaking know. It was in the middle of nowhere. And then another place, it was like a kind of like a hospital in the city in a way. And then the last place was actually a church that was there, and we like served the entire congregation that was there. So we didn't like travel to necessarily, but we went to different spots each day.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you always been to DR? Or is it
Yeah,
different every time?
Yeah. So it's only been for me Haiti and the Dominican. I've served on both sides, and then it's my first time ever serving in Jamaica is going to be in April. So that'll be the only other place that I've gone to. But I'm really open for whatever. You know, I've talked to someone that I've seen. Because I meet so many fly individuals, so many like Dr. Nash. I'm just like, what the hell? Like it's just you meet so many cool ass
top
people.
notch.
Yeah, you know what I mean? On these mission trips. And so that's another reason why like I'm always excited and I'm always willing to like sacrifice to go, because you just never know who you're gonna meet, and it's all divine. It's like you can't even you can't make it up. You can't make up the fact that I met this person. It's like no, it's just all divine situations. But I met this one dude who wants to go to like Thailand, and another dude that wants to go up into like parts of China, and it's like I would love to go to those places and just serve people. You know, like that's like the best thing is when you don't have to worry about all the restrictions and all the judgment of how it is down here in the States. Is like, I mean, bro, you over here and you're adjusting at school, for instance, and it's like people looking at you and they have their own views and they're all just tormenting and all this different energy, right? But over there, it's like all love, you know. So you can like have more freedom to express the actual art of chiropractic. Your philosophy is very valid in their eyes. It's like it's just who you are. They receive it better than someone who has their own preconceived notion of what their egos think they are, who they think they are. This manufactured identity kind of like breaks the barrier of what chiropractic can really do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
absolutely. Yeah, that's so true. Even like the no transaction of money. That's my favorite part, because there's not that expectation. As like you said, it's just pure love. You're just, hey, let me serve you up.
Yeah.
They're like, heck yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's fact. Dude, so what was it like going to your first one? Because you were probably what, like try 2, try 1?
Yeah, I was in a transition from try 2 to try 3. And it was wild because like I was just hearing a lot of noise about like, oh, you might not be able to go because you're not in high enough try. They're not gonna let you do this. You can't do this, blah blah. And so like all that was going through my mind. Man, I'm not worried about all that. Like I've already like I trusted my ability that I might not be the best at adjusting, but I know that if I put my hands on people, like that's all you need to do. You know, even if you're just palpating.
Connection.
Yeah, you feel me?
Your intentions, bro.
Yes, bro. I knew I had pure intentions, and like all the energy that was built into it. Like my church gave me like over $1,000, you know, for me to go on this trip. So it was like a lot of people were just rooting for me. So then I had that energy behind me, and so it's like I was just excited to go out there and serve. And so whenever we first, I mean, like Dr. Nash probably knows, you like get into the airport, and it's like your phone instantly goes off. So now you're trying to find Wi-Fi, and it's just like all that was just all exciting. I'm with my like 2 of my good friends in chiropractic school too. One is this Asian cat. His name's KJ. But I call him Sensei Joe Lou because he's like fast. He has fast hands. And it was him, and then one of my buddies named Adam. And so we were just like having fun cruising, and we just ride on this long bus ride all the way down, and like we're exhausted. And then we wake up the next day and we're just all on fire. Like, yo, we're gonna adjust as many people as possible. Like that was just our, because you know we're young and we're just fresh in there and we're just trying to get on. And after that first day, I'm talking about my body was shot, bro. Dude, I mean like sorenesses that I've never felt before, bro. Like TL junction all the way down, like my whole lumbar. I'm like, bro, everything's just. And you know how they tell you, like at some of these clubs, it's like, oh, work on these like biomechanic foundational movements.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you know how to hinge hip, like bro, none of that saves you out
Didn't
there,
matter.
bro. Like
Not when you're hitting those triple digit numbers.
You
Like,
lucky though.
bro.
You at least had other chiros to adjust to you. See, I had to deal with
Yeah.
that by myself, bro.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
But the next day though, like when you start seeing people like that, all like it went away. Like it didn't matter at the time.
Yeah,
For sure.
that happened to me too.
And you know, kind of hitting on that too, bro. I think that's actually a huge strength about, you know, these mission trips too, is you get yourself, you know, basically, you know, you're testing capacity the entire time. You're pushing limits. And I don't know, you know, in any skill-based profession, the most gains you can make are when you're like at your most tired and you keep pushing through that, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the, you know, I talked with we had him on here, Nathan Garowitz. I know you don't know him, Mo, but he's a chiropractor with MLS staff. And before I went out, I was just like, you know, just asked him for advice. He's one of my mentors. And he's like, you know, you're honestly going to hit this point where you're just like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm wiped out, like, energetically, spiritually. But, like, that's when innate takes over. And then you really get to see the power of, like, it's not coming from me. It's going through me.
Yeah.
Through me. And it's an energetic exchange between me and who's ever on that table. And that is, like, probably my favorite experience from the whole trip was when I got dead ass tired on day one. And it was getting around lunch hour, you know.
Yeah.
We were still heading to the park,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, all right, here we go. This is really when I'm gonna hit that blackout mode. And I'm just gonna, you know, just keep them rolling. And yeah, man, I don't know. Like it's a different beast when you're out there slinging it like it's really supposed to be done. You're just in that flow state.
Yeah. I think you connect to Nate on a different level though too, because it's not like you have full time to like do a full patient workup. You ain't got time to do X-ray, all the like stuff that you learn entirely through school. So it's a purely like innate style of commitment to someone's body. Because I don't know about you guys, but I mean, half the people that came in when I saw them in Honduras, they were either in a car accident or motorcycle accident or something, or like they broke their back before or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like you purely have to rely upon, okay, not that educated mind where you're, I mean, you use a portion of that obviously, but you're also checking out things within that individual that you got to use the best with what you got.
Yeah.
Internally.
I got 2 questions. So one for Dr. Gates and then one for both of you guys. So for Dr. Gates, where do you practice at?
I'm in Grand Rapids.
Okay,
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, solid. And then how did you guys meet?
We were classmates.
Oh, okay.
Nash adjusted me in the second trimester final. We were studying for the final, and I was like, "That's it. That's my boy."
Chair, baby.
It was their little chair, yeah, in the cafeteria too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so, also for both of you guys, is what is like? This is also what I'm really into. Like, I like asking this with docs. Is what is some of the wildest things you've seen in practice that you've treated, like herniated disc or whatever, cancer, whatever it is? Like, what is the wildest thing you've seen that you kind of help facilitate that process for them?
I got something, Gates, right off the top of mine that was.
Please, I need to think about that.
So for me, one of the first times that I saw one of those like BJ Palmer type moments, I guess, especially in practice, was I had somebody who is essentially deaf in her right ear for like 4 years. And so she started coming in, and it wasn't the first adjustment, but you know, obviously it's a process to an extent. But what we really started working on too was our TMJ.
Yeah.
And when we cleared out upper cervical with TMJ, it was probably coming up on week 4. You know, she said she was driving back from her appointment, and she kind of was like, you know, she's kind of like, so she's like, I had this funny feeling. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And she's like, I was like checking my radio, and then she realized like, oh shit, I can hear, like I can literally hear from my right ear. And she said she like started bawling, she started crying, and you know, that was like one of those first times I'm like, yeah, that's not there's a lot of things that I love about chiropractic, and there's a lot of things that I think that we get a little bit too focused on when it comes to even just caring for people. But that was one of those times where I just truly felt that like this is bigger than all of us, right? And
Yeah.
we have such a gift, and we have something. It's truly. I'm kicking myself because I don't remember the quote directly because it's in the library or in the student union at Palmer now. But we really have a duty to uphold the principles of chiropractic because people aren't going to hear this from anybody else. That we have an innate intelligence side of us. That's where the power comes from, and that's where healing really truly happens. And if you can connect the brain and the body to innate intelligence, anything's really possible. And
Yeah.
that was one of the first times I really saw something. I was like, damn, like, I read about it. I read about Harvey Lillard, and I read about, BJ traveling the world and adjusting people out of literally years of dysfunction and sickness. But that was the first time that I was like, damn, that was super powerful for me. So
Yeah.
long-winded answer.
That's fire. Dang.
The embodiment.
Yeah.
Be coming back through you, baby. I gotta say, it's me adjusting my son for the first time 30 minutes after he was born. Like, the entire pregnancy for my wife, that's all I was looking forward to. I was like,
yeah, bro, you were talking about that literally from day one, man.
From like day one, dude. I was
like
geeking
about that.
I am just so ready to. I don't care what he looks like. I'm just ready to like adjust him and have that connection with him, like from the get go. Yeah. And being able to do that, I think it will probably forever be my most favorite moment because, I mean, he crushed the birth, like just dominated it, and then being able to adjust him not too long afterwards and feel like, that was the only way that we could like fully communicate and understand each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know words yet. He doesn't know signals yet or anything like that. And I don't even understand fully what's going through on in his brain, where it's purely innate for the most part. And just being able to connect in that moment, I mean, like, it's still like, and it wasn't even anything like magical either in terms of like,
was it the Atlas or?
Yeah. I just stuck with Atlas for the first one. Yeah. And, it's just that time period, like, and we did a home birth, so like everybody was in there basically watching it. So, but it's all the noise is like clear because I'm just focused on him, and to be able to experience his nervous system, in his innate, before anybody else. Yeah, that's I'm proud of that.
And it's your little mini me, so it's like it's like a looking in the sacred mirror. It's like,
bro, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, for real.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You give him everything too that I wish I had when I first got born, right? Like that care of the nervous system. I'm like, man,
supreme being, bro.
Supreme being is right.
Yeah,
pure blood.
For real, pure blood. That dude's gonna be like, I don't know. That's gonna be pinnacle of human race right there from day one.
I hope so, man. I hope so. That's awesome.
I got a question for you, Mo. So generally, we like to hit on a few things fundamentally, but there's one thing that really stuck out to me, especially just the more I got to know you. But I'd like you to share with everybody on here. It's about your purpose. So obviously, going through school, it's really easy to get tunnel vision on it, just like, and there's some beauty behind that on the day to day. Like, hey, I got this test, I got that I don't know, I got that class coming up, I got this lab, I got this patient, right? But fundamentally, how we can truly keep progressing as not just a student or a chiropractor, but as a human being, kind of revolves around our purpose. So I was kind of curious if you could touch on your purpose for everybody listening.
Yeah, dude, that's a good question. So, I feel like my overall purpose, like not only in chiropractic, but just period, is to fully express my energetic well-being. So to be that authentic self. So right now it's like I'm in this process of pulling back these onion layers of like what has already been like predisposed on me from just like my parents' structures, and then the school structures that I went to, and then some of the people that I've met, and then my aunts, uncles, people that have just kind of put some of their beliefs and different ideologies on me, and some of the churches that I went to when I was younger. And so more so now it's getting straight to the root of my authentic being. There's a difference in like what your ideologies tell you who you should be, and then who you really are that you're just not letting be expressed, you know? And so I feel like that's my purpose. My purpose is, it sounds pretty selfish, but it's like getting to that root of who I am, because I know when I'm that 100% authentic me, then that's when I'll be able to be a complete and utter asset to the community. Because my purpose, like, I love people.
Amen, bro.
I want to help people. You know what I mean? I want to be able to pour into people with this overflowing cup that's like if people step in my presence, I don't even have to even touch them. It's just straight up that people are gonna get better, you know. And I feel like the only way I can do that is if I really get down in the grit and like heal myself, go through the trenches. People call it shadow work, you know, whatever it is, but really get into expressing my authentic self. That's my purpose right now. And then I know that it's gonna unlock all the doors to really being able to touch people, and you know, because I know I'm you know, humble and stuff, but it's like you know, I know I've helped quite a few people, but I know that there's so much more love and things to be expressed and be able to push out, you know.
Yeah, man, for sure. I love that. That was money, dude.
I
You
kind
know,
of got a
especially
follow up. Oh,
yeah, go
ahead,
for it.
man.
Nope. I was just gonna,
Oh,
you know me,
I was
bro.
gonna.
I'm just gonna ramble.
Can you touch on that kind of like changing that purpose though, even too, or like your intentional shifts? Because you talked about before you went into chiropractic school, academic probation, all that kind of stuff. And I come from a similar path in my undergrad. Like I went through academic probation, actually got kicked out from my grades beforehand too, and I had to fight back from that. And because I knew I wanted to do chiropractic, I had that disconnect. So, and then once I kind of relived and re-engaged that purpose, that intention for what I wanted with chiropractic, that's when I took it to new levels and was able to actually see not only success, but like you were talking about, just being my authentic self and not feeling like I had to hold back or feel like I had to push myself to study because I actually wanted to get where I wanted to go. But can you walk us through a little bit of that process too? And were you adjusted before you went to chiropractic college?
Yeah,
Have
like
you ever been
right.
adjusted
So
before?
yeah, so right when I applied for Parker, I was like maybe 3 months out to going to Parker. I went and saw the chiropractor in my city. So like that was my first time. Was pretty much 3 months before I joined.
That's wild.
Yeah, I had to get
It's
it
so
in.
crazy.
But to that question, like the transitional, like switching intention. So um when I was in undergrad, it was more so just like kicking it with the homies. Like that was just my vibe. I was more of like a homebody, kicking with my boys, just chill. And so like that kind of like trickled into school, not really having much drive to do that. And so whenever I was in my exiting year and I needed to have a certain like GPA to even get my degree, like I had to get like a 2.5 or something. And like, I mean, I know that sounds easy, but I was just tripping. And um, so then I shifted my attention to like, okay, because I'm actually smart and I know I'm smart, but it's just I didn't apply that knowledge. And so I switched it just so because I live with my parents, and so I was like, all right, they're not going to be happy to know that I'm sitting here with their money just not getting the bag, you know. And so I changed my knowledge at that point to be okay. I gotta pass this. Then whenever I went to Park and they're like, yo, you have to have the certain GPA to actually get into the program. I was like, okay, now I need to really start applying myself. And so then I sat down with myself and I was like, okay, if you really want to do this chiropractic stuff and you really want to like follow that dream, like you have to be more intentional with yourself. Oh, so yeah, transitioning from undergrad, I knew I had to start applying myself in this new portion. And so then whenever I got into whenever I knew I was about to go into chiropractic school, I was like, all right, I have to sit and get intentional with myself. Like, if this is something you really want to do, you have to, like, from the get-go, apply yourself. Because I had no clue what graduate school looked like. My parents never went through that kind of stuff, so I had no, like, previous intel on how difficult it would be. And, you know, since it's like doctor school or whatever, it was like, all right, like, I can't just go up here and spend all this money and, like, get dropped out because of my grades. And so I, like, switched my diet, went more plant-based, started to transition some of the people that were in my life that weren't really like fueling me, you know, people that were just more bringing me out of who I needed to really be and how I needed to be expressing myself. I had to, like, release some of those attachments. And then I started to dive into reading different books, like self-help books. The Power of Now was a really good book that I read that kind of, like, changed my paradigm on how I was thinking and moving. And so then I came into Parker, and my first trimester I got a 4.0 just because I was literally just studying all the time and I actually was using my knowledge. And then now, as I'm figuring out, okay, I can do this school stuff, now my purpose and everything changed again. Now it's like, okay, now it's not all up in the books and everything, because that's not going to be the best to serve the most patients that I'm trying to serve. You know, because we all have our ideal patient, like our ideal, like what we envision and what we manifest into our clinic. And me being all up in the books and learning every single equation of biochemistry isn't going to be the best for my patient, because they want to know, are you going to put your hands on me and am I going to get better, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so then I changed to, okay, I need to be the best adjuster in the world. So I just started to practice every day. I had, y'all know the Thule board. Yeah. So there's this Thule board, and I would literally just be hitting the Thule board, practicing it every day to try to get my adjustments crisp, get them specific. I would look at the spine, like just look at the spine and look at the shape of it, knowing that everybody's spine's different, but just getting some type of idea of what I'm doing. And I was just training that for like 3-4 trimesters. And then my purpose changed again. Was like, hold on. At the end of the day, like, none of that matters. Like, none of all that stuff matters, where people will sit there and they'll be like, oh, you're the best adjuster, all this different stuff. None of that matters. What matters is people come to you because of who you are. They don't care about your adjustment, because at the end of the day, like, we can pick 10 chiropractors that can make the bone move. You know what I mean? And so it's like, what is making that person come to you specifically? And it's who you are. Like, what is your energy? Do they actually feel good when they're around you? Do you make them feel like healing? Do you give that person hope? You know? And so, and for me to confidently be able to be that beacon of light, I have to make sure that I'm doing the self work, which is making sure I'm waking up early and doing my qigong, my meditation. Make sure that I'm not just drinking alcohol every weekend, which I've been doing a lot. You know what I mean? But it's like making sure that I'm being like, I'm working on all those different factors, because that's how you're that being for your patient when they come in. It's like, you really can you can do one adjustment, bro. You can do the Atlas like BJ Palmer, and the person can get better. And it's like, how can you even get to the mindset where you know 100% confident that you'll just do one adjustment and that person can get up and pay whatever the hell you want to charge them, and they're not going to say no, like, bro, is he a quack? It's because of that work you did, that you know that's all you need. You can go and leave and be fine. And I did some of like I studied alchemy a little bit. I don't know if y'all familiar with alchemy, but
you read The Alchemist?
Yeah, I read that book.
Okay, so you better have.
Yeah, and so like one of the main things that it's trying to achieve is the Philosopher's Stone, right? Yep. And so the Philosopher's Stone, in my eyes, how it can correlate to chiropractic, is just doing one adjustment and that person gets off the table and they feel better, you know? And so it's a process, you know, just like learning that, because I mean, I get caught up in that. Like, I drop an adjustment, I'm like, dang, that's crisp. And they're like, yeah, but I still kind of feel it. I'm like, dang, like, you know what I mean?
Bro, that hurts in the soul. I tell you what, man. There's no more damaging to an emotional state of a chiropractor than that right there.
Straight up, bro. So I don't know, bro. But yeah, so that's how my purposes have been shifting. along.
That's cool, man. That's wow.
What if you could talk to other students, not just from Parker, but from students around the country, what would your message be to them about even not even just getting involved with mission trips, but just in general? How can you really get the most out of your experience in school right now?
Bro, bro, man, you got these questions, bro. Okay, I see you. Those are good questions right there.
I've been asked to lead in, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it's not coming from me; it's coming through me, bro. These are questions flowing through me, bro.
Bro, I would say, big time is one, understand why you're doing what you're doing. Period. Like, it's okay if you don't know in the very beginning, but like, try to like have some goal. Like, okay, why am I even in chiropractic school? Do I want to make money? Am I trying to look cool? Do I just want to make bone music happen? Or do I really want to help people? Or it's because my dad did it and I'm doing it? Like, what is it? Because then that's going to help you kind of like manifest. Because to me, the biggest thing is manifestation. Like if you can manifest it, it's going to happen, because that's the only thing that's like, it's, I mean, dude, for every book of physics, there's like 4 or 5 copies of metaphysics. So like, let's just be real. Like, this isn't just this laptop and this computer. It's way more grand than this. It's 99% of an atom. One atom is 1% the actual proton and the electron and the neutron. The other 99% is just nothingness.
Yep.
Nothingness. So it's like, have a manifestation of what you want, and then the key is to find a mentor who is what you want to achieve towards. Like, find that as early as you can, because that's the cheat code in my eyes. Like, I found mine in like try 2, and it helped me just catalyze. It took me, I took off, because then you can like pour into them, and then they can pour back into you, and then you can learn, and then they can learn more about, like, it's this symbiotic relationship. But if you're trying to thug it out by yourself, it's like you don't really know what's pitfalls and stuff is there for you. And sometimes that's good for people, to go through that stage alone. But I really, really recommend finding someone who's like, okay, I can be like that person, not like completely like them, but like that path that they've made is pretty similar to what I would like, and so that's one I would recommend for students, is to find that for sure.
Love that, bro. I mean, setting that GPS, really giving yourself, because like you said, thugging it up by yourself. You can, if you want to go somewhere fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. So even early on, man, aligning yourself with somebody that you can go together with, that can really, not just show you the way, but actually kind of help pull you in that direction. That's, I mean, Gates, we kind of got lucky, man. I mean, I didn't even really mean to fall into Dr. Malley's arena myself, because I kind of came from a cervical background, and honestly, like, that in itself was beautiful for me in my development, and just really realizing what I'm looking to do as a chiropractor. And we literally by circumstance met Dr. Malley, who put us in connection with so many other great chiropractors like Dr. Fab. And
I think that grows too, though. Like you start to meet new mentors for your next phase, your next evolution of yourself, right? Like, and that makes a big change with who you are continuing to become. But that starting process, I think you nailed it, man. Because when I was a student, I needed that to kind of to get to where I needed to be, 100%.
One thing I want to hit on too, bro, at the very face value of doing mission trips, man, like, we've already hit on literally so much depth for what makes it super, not just beautiful, but like instrumental with finding out who you are authentically. But at face value, man, Time said it best. It's double XP weekend, bro.
Yeah.
So, I mean, go in there, get some reps in if you haven't been there, bro. I love that. When he said that, bro, I was cracking up, because that's so true. Because at the end of the day, it's, if you ever played sports growing up, you got to get reps in. You got to. You got to. And you got to reach that fatigue factor.
Yeah.
Because that's really when, quote unquote champions are made. But, just be your own champion. Be your own, Mamba mentality. Be your own Kobe Bryant. You got to take the shots.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss them, especially early on. But that's just, you got to keep shooting, bro. At the end of the day, because that confidence, that's confidence in what you're doing and your why is ultimately how you can be that hope dealer slinging bone music, bro. So I love that.
Mm-hmm. No,
Bro, that
no
bone
doubt,
music,
bro.
yeah. Bro,
Yeah,
you
it had
said
me
that.
dying.
I hadn't heard that before. I love that, bro. Man, that was great. That was fantastic. Well, cool,
Dude,
man.
this is awesome, bro. I love this this stuff that you guys got going on. I didn't even know y'all was doing this, man. Like,
Yeah,
this is
so I
dope.
told
You got a
Gates when
lot
I
of
came
catch
back,
up
I'm
to
like, bro, I
play.
didn't even tell him about the podcast, and he was low-key
Yeah,
kind of
Dr.
mad.
Nash slipping, bro.
I know.
He said I forgot about it. I was like, what the heck? Bro, you were with students. What do you mean you forgot?
But honestly, when you were saying, like, when you get into the airport and your phone shuts off,
Bro, it's
like, bro,
it's
you
true.
really kind of like step into a portal, and it's like, ooh, I'm like
Yeah.
off the grid, and I love that feeling. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I really get to be kind
Dr.
of.
Nash thrives on that for sure.
I do kind of. My last week in school, bro, I didn't have a phone, and I love that.
Graduation week, bro.
Yeah, it was
Right?
great. Yeah, it was graduation week. But yeah, man, going off the grid, man. I mean, you know, I really felt that like I really got to just tune in with every single person that was there and just like pour into them while I could, you know, as much as I'm trying to give, bro, people are giving back tenfold, and not even like intentionally like I'm taking, but like just to feel their intentions. And like when you see people on mission trips, bro, everybody's got a little bit different of why they're there, but ultimately it comes down to they're just trying to spread love. And you know, just to really get to spend every single second with somebody and not having that distraction that we have here in America, which is, you know, it's a privilege, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but you know, it is a distraction too. So you know, that I love that portion of it, that like, you know, I just completely forgot about podcasting and all the other stuff that we do, bro.
That's
so,
all right.
But
you were busy
appreciate you saying
connecting
that, man.
with the people around there. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So one last question for the both of y'all. So what's up with going to a mission trip together? Like when y'all trying to hit, I know y'all in practice and everything, but we should try to see if we can make that happen.
Dude, Dr. Nash and I did a vision like session, I guess, together. Writing down our goals. And one of my goals was go on a mission trip with Dr. Nash. So I'm gonna add in
in 2022
sending on there too.
Yeah,
in 2022 is this year.
Yo,
so it's gonna happen.
Facts, bro. And honestly, so since I came back, you know, Dr. P, bro, he really inspired me to like, bro, it's so much bigger than even just one practice, or even just like, you know, the people in your city, your county, your state. And I don't know if I mentioned, but my girlfriend and my partner, Dr. Leilani, we were talking, and her mom's from the Philippines, so you know, we're kind of in the process of seeing if we can build something somewhat similar, even if it's just pretty I don't know, even if it's pretty intimate, pretty small the first couple go arounds. But you know, her mom, she's got family there that like it, you know, there's people all over the place that need chiropractic. And
That'd be sweet.
you know, we're getting into this day and age where, you know, we've got the tools to really move some mountains with, you know, we get to really show the world that is so much more powerful than what the ACA is really kind of telling people about, that, oh, you know, you got to go through the MOPAL, you got to go through, you know, the passive care modalities, all this and that. I mean, yeah, you can feel better, but, you know, are we really changing somebody's life when we're doing that? And the people that really need it, you know, the people that appreciate it, that's kind of a shift that I've had since I came back. And definitely gonna, you know, keep you all in the loop on that guy, because trying to manifest that thing for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, bro, for sure. I mean, we got one that's definitely on the vision board for 2022. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Like, we got to get Gates on a chiropractic mission trip, man. Not
bro. I'm telling you what, I need some brothers and sisters. I need to be able to.
It's a different, bro. I only got one experience, but bro, I don't know. You just feel like you're on the Avengers, man. You know, you got everybody slinging different styles, different techniques.
You got your table on your back. That's your
shit,
there you go. That's right. Yeah.
Well, we had all different types of superheroes out there, dude. It was cool. We got Nick Fury, that's Dr. P, out there assembling the whole squad. Oh, it was great, man. I loved it.
Then that's player.
Yeah. Well, other than that, brother, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about where they can get connected with you? You know, maybe a little bit about your do you have any post-grad plans you're going to open up? You're going to work with somebody?
Yeah, so I'm going to definitely open up whenever I graduate, December 3rd. So I'm looking towards manifesting. So it's already done. But January, February, having something already rolling in 2023. In Texas, maybe more south of Dallas. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't really I'm a natural procrastinator, so I perform best under pressure. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start paying more attention to that. Whenever it's like closer to the date. But yeah, right now I need to pass my part 2 and 3 boards coming up here in a couple of weeks. So I've been putting a lot of intention into that. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely open up, and then you can keep up with me I'm mostly on Instagram. That's where I reside most of the time. I don't really use much of the other social medias yet, but it's at innate, so like innate intelligence, and then a D, so innate, tid, and Mo, MOE. So innated Mo. Yeah.
Oh, and and if anybody's got questions or even wants to reach out and talk about mission trips, man, I know all three of us would be happy to have that conversation and see what we can do for you. One beautiful thing about Life University is Dr. P was saying that they're actually starting to make that a part of the program, having instructors come on the trips and actually get to make that a part of their curriculum, which I think is huge.
Way to step up, Life.
Yeah, I mean, that's dope. So any Life students that listen to this, I'm sure y'all already know. But yeah, man, you can find us at the_good_fight_ers, at GatesMayer_DC, and you can find me at DC_Nash_T. Appreciate y'all, and keep going out there and serving up that love. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, it was an honor, bro. Thank you, guys.